Well, the following video is a pretty good example of why you shouldn't work on motorcycles when you're really, really tired. I don't know, I woke up this morning exhausted and I worked in the shop and then I did a Zoom call and then I worked in the shop some more. And I made more screw ups than I can shake a stick at. I got everything done, but boy, I shouldn't work on bikes when I'm as tired as I was today. I got to get more rest for some reason. So anyway, I left the foibles in. You can enjoy them. I got the job done, but it wasn't pretty. Anyway, take your shots. Later, man. Bye. Well, good morning. It's Saturday. It's about 10 after 2. 10 after 2. Let's start over. Good morning. It's Saturday. Good morning. It's Saturday, and it's roughly 10 minutes after 8 in the morning. I have a 9 o'clock Zoom with some of my old Motorola friends. So I've got about 30 minutes to work on something, and I decided just for the heck of it, I'd put a couple valves in the head and set up the camera in the tripod so you can see the how to put valves in heads. It's not magic. It's kind of cool. The consensus from all the responses I get is that these are good Hepalite pistons. They are nice. They are clean. They are, I don't know that they're new, but if they're not new, they sure were cleaned well. And the rings are fit into the grooves with 1.5, 0.00, 1.5 thousandths clearance. The end gap is exactly 12 thousandths, which is really mid-range, 10 to 14 in my humble opinion. The head is beautiful. The valves were recently cut. The valve faces are beautiful. The pistons fit inside the cylinders just beautifully. Now, it's not the greatest cross-hatching. We've talked about that, but it is cross-hatched. The clearance is 4.5 thousandths, which I refer to as a sloppy 4. I cleaned the gasket, and I will re-anneal it and then reuse it. All of the parts that we thought were missing are found. These are the big long bolts that I was worried about. We found them. And this is the nut that goes in the back. So everything's looking good. I'm going to put this bike back together as is. So over here I have the left exhaust and left intake, and I'm going to put these into the head just as a show and tell. I'll set the tripod up now, do that, and then I'll go do my Zoom call. All right, let's see how this goes. I'm going to do the left intake first. I'm going to put just a tad bit of oil on the valve. I'd say that this valve was used. It's been nicely ground. I could put it in this way. That there is funny. And that's the exhaust valve. Let's not do that one. Take 2. Thank you. All right. Putting the heat insulator down there in the bottom. Putting the spring seat down on the bottom. As I recall, these were rather tight. There it goes, snaps into place. Putting a spring, double spring in. Now let's put the I'm going to stop this because I'm screwing up 7 ways to Sunday. All right. All right, let's go ahead and put the left intake valve in. Put a tad bit of oil on the shaft. Going to put the heat insulator at the bottom. That's nice. Drop the valve spring seat down in here. They were tight when I took them out. Let's see if they snap in. And it did. That's nice. Nice and tight. Good and tight. Springs. No. Oil seal. All the way down. Over the guide. There it goes. Springs. Spring keeper cap. Let's see if we can get this in here into the These are very tall springs. Let's see how this goes. All right. I'll turn this around so you can see it in a minute. That's solid enough that it's safe. Let's see how to get some visibility for you. Let's try this. Okay, I'm going to try to put the keepers in here in such a manner that you can see them going in. I'm just going to center this a little. These are very long, probably very strong. Springs. That's one. Let's see if we can get the other in. it's going in. There it goes. It's in all the way down. I'm going to release this now. That is some tough spring. All right, that's pretty much how it's done. I'm not going to do another one. It's just boring. Basically, you depress them and put the retainers in. Something my father used to do. Can you see what's going on over here? How far over are we? Let's go over here. Something my father used to do when he would rebuild my house, right about now, he would give this a smack with a sledgehammer. Boom, man. I do too, but usually I find myself a small piece of plastic out of my junk box. Like so. Put it here. And just for the heck of it, I don't know why my father did that, but I do it too. And I've never had one come loose. So at this point in time, we've installed one valve. I'm going to install the rest and then go do my Zoom call. And I'm not going to make you watch because this gets real boring real fast. Well, all the valves are in, seated nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rockers in now. I just thought you might be interested in seeing how the oil gets from this place where the oil lines connect to the rocker shafts. And it's done with a drill that goes from here all the way up into this area. So I stuck some Q-tips in here to show you that there's a drill hole that goes from here to here. And that's just for the heck of it. And I can actually watch this. Push that one in, push that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They actually connect right up here in this area. So those are nice and clear. And they interact. And that's where the oil comes into the head on the sides and travels forward and backwards to the different rocker shafts. Then they come into the center of the rocker shaft and go out this flat. The flats on the rear face to the rear, and the flats on the front face to the front, like so. And when you put them in, I always try to make this slot face towards the oil line. Now, that's slightly against reg because the stock plates of covers have notches that fit into here. I will at times modify those notches to allow me to rotate this a little bit more in line with the hole. But that's just something I do, and I'm not going to recommend it because 47 people will say it's a bad idea. But anyway, so I'm going to get ready. I'm going to warm this up. I'm going to use the heat gun. All these things are slip fits, but I'm going to use the heat gun on the inside because they actually do get a little tighter on the inside. Besides, it was a suggestion from one of the followers that heat them up from the inside and they slide together nicer. So, and they slide apart nicer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll set up the tripod and maybe do a couple of these. All right, let's see if I can, I'll warm up one on the far side and then try to insert it. Now, other than the fact that I put the wrong rocker in there, everything's... All right, valves are all in, seated nicely, ready to go. I'm gonna put the rockers in now. I am gonna heat it up as was suggested. I'm gonna heat up the inside from the inside so everything slides together nicely. These are pretty much a slide fit anyway, but we'll heat it up. These rocker shafts go in with the oil face facing forward, and these on the back side go in with the oil faces facing backwards. If you've ever been wondered how the oil gets from here to here, let me show you. There's actually a hole drilled right here that goes all the way up to there, and all the way down here, all the way up to there, and you can see how these interact. They're connecting right in there. And it's always nice, just for the heck of it, to double check and make sure that those oil lines are clear, and they are. So that's how they work. Let's, outside is flat, inside is spring, shaft goes in like so. We're going to warm it up, put in a couple of these so you can see how it's done. Still running? Okay. Let's do a little warming. Warming from the inside was a suggestion of one of the followers. Good suggestion. Let's see how slidey any of these are. Okay, pretty good here. So we'll just warm that up a little bit more and see how it goes. World's oldest heat gun. It's Milwaukee. Been dropped so many times. The front cone is gone. I spliced in about 3 different cords so I can carry this thing all over the shop. It doesn't have a 6-foot cord anymore. Right now it's got about a 20-foot cord. So I can take it about everywhere. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to get this through a little bit. Hang the thin washer on it. And yeah, that's hot. Okay. All right, like so. That's in. Nice and loose. Let's see if I can get the spring washer in. These are the ones that are a bother because the cut ends tend to hang up. There. Let's see if that'll go in. I know. I'm going to use Jake Jr. Okay, I'm going to turn this so that it catches the oil line. Dead nuts on the oil line. Got good side play, spring pushes it back. We've done a exhaust. Let's flip it around and do a intake, and then I'll let you all go because this gets boring after a while. All right, let's give this a try. Shaft is in, facing back. Thin washer on shaft. Hot, 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 and it sticks to me. Hot, 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 hot. Okay, thin washer's on. Not that one, this one. Rocker goes in like so. Like so. Spring washer goes in. Right about here. Getting the edges in, the cut edge. Okay, now that's a little far, I do believe. Probably. Let's see how it'll tap in, if it will. We've got good spring action, like so. And the oil line is lined up with the hole, like so. Okay, that's about as boring as it gets. I'm going to work on the other side, but there's no sense in you all being tied up. So take a break, smoke them if you got them, and we'll be back when I get this done. Well, I'm back, and I want to show you something. I just remembered that I made a tool for when I was working on Triumph rocker shafts, and I thought I'd try it on a Norton. And it's basically this. It's an old shaft that I cleaned and made fit in Triumph rocker shaft holes all the way through. And the value is it's tapered on the front, and it will line up all these bits and pieces inside, and then I can just take it out and put in the real shaft. I'm going to try that here and see how it goes. Okay? So, let's put that here. This is hot, by the way. I've heated it. Let's see if I can tilt this way so you can see what's going on. Let me get that 2 by 1 by 1. There. Okay. All right. Let's get the flat washer in there on it. Okay. Now let's see if we can get the rocker shaft in there. That washer still there? Yep, it is. Slide this in. Oh, this is going to be fun getting the spring washer in there with this one in the way. But we'll try it. It's hot, 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 hot. Still hot in there. Very hot. Let's see if I can squish this down. Slide it in there. Okay, so it's in there in the general vicinity. Let's see if this lines it up. Okay, got to get that edge in. That cut edge in. Okay, good. So it's clear all the way through. So at this point, I'm going to take this shaft, facing forward, put it in all the way. I'm going to make sure that the oil line lines up with the hole. And tap it in with Jake Jr. Oil line matches the hole beautifully. That's a whole lot easier. I'm going to use that same technique and that same tool here when I do this one. That's very nice. Okay, I'm going to do this one now. I'll let you watch. What the heck? If I'm bored, you're bored. It's still warm too. Not as warm as was, but it's warm. Get the test shaft, the alignment shaft in. Rocker arm. Flat washer still in place. Nope, I knocked it off. Double check. Stand by. And that's why we double check. Well, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so where were we before we were so rudely interrupted by my failure to be careful? Alignment shaft, flat washer. I think because that tip is tapered, it doesn't necessarily want to stay on there. Okay, let's put this in here now. I'm using that to hold the flat washer there. Just make sure that it stays once again. And this time it is in place. Going all the way through. Everything lines up. Over here, we're going to pull this back just a little bit. Going to put the spring in. Collapsed backside first. See how it goes. Come on. Be nice. There's people watching. There we go. It goes in. Got to get these cut ends in now. Like so. Let's see if the shaft will pick it up. Okay, the shaft picked it up, and we're all the way through. Take that out. Put this in, facing forward. Little Jake, face this up, roughly right about there. Good action, good spring, good spring. Good spring, good spring. Okay, guys, a few foibles. Rediscovering an old tool that I made a long time ago. Worked very nicely. That's it. The head at this point is ready to go back on. And it's 3:30. I'm going to call it a day because it's hot and I'm tired.